Every time. Come on, Mort, this was going really well. Lubricate my throat. Let's lubricate my throat again. I'd already recorded this video a couple of days ago, but unfortunately the sound and the video went out of sync because I was using a different camera app than I'm normally used to. So I won't be doing that again, and I apologise for this because that video was incredibly funny. I was on form, to say the least. Which is really handy considering that the subject of this video is budgeting. A very boring topic, but something that I consider important. If you are like me and you are relatively new to this whole getting your finances in order type lifestyle, if you can call it a lifestyle, then a budget is, well, it proved invaluable to me. As soon as I started putting my income and all of my outgoing monies on paper, I found I had a lot more left over to save for the things that I wanted, and it's just nice to sort of get organised and know where your money is going. Dave Ramsey says a budget helps you tell your money what to do as opposed to wondering where it went at the end of the month, and I think that's right. And I still wonder where some of my money went at the end of the month because I don't necessarily stick to my budget as rigidly as I should, but at least you get something sort of fleshed out on paper and you can see what's going on with your finances. I'm going to show you my basic budget template at the moment. This isn't my whole financial picture. I've edited some things just to make it easier and clearer for making a YouTube video. So this is my YouTube budget sheet. What I'm going to do is make these available to download on my website at the link in the description, and perhaps I'll put a little box up here that you can click. Go to my website if you want to download these templates. I'll make them available blank as a PDF so that you can handwrite things in. As a numbers document because I'm using a Mac, so that's the easiest way for me to do it, and if I can export it as an Excel document I will. But yeah, if you want to play around with the budget yourself and you haven't, it's very simple stuff. I'm not discussing like rocket science here. A budget essentially is, this is how much money I've got, this is how much money I need to spend, this is how much money I've got left at the end of it. But yeah, you can go to that website, you can download these forms if you haven't played around with the budget before, and see if it's I'm confident that it is the right thing to do for you. No matter if you're rich or poor, got tons of money, no money, a budget is a good idea so that you can at least know what's happening with your finances. So looking at the budget sheet, it's very basic. At the top I've got day job, that's £395 a week, £1,580 a month, which is just that amount times 4, and £20,540 a year, which is that amount times 52. I get paid weekly. I understand some people, well, most people probably get paid monthly. So the way I work it is I do my monthly budget based on what I need to spend per month, but I separate that into 4 weekly payments so that I can manage my accounts correctly. If you have different sources of income, you want to take everything into account, so you can just add a line, type a different job. I don't know, say you work for Domino's like I used to, add your different amount, say I make £80 a week, blah blah blah, fill all that in, and that obviously updates your total so that you've got more money to work with. But I'll get rid of that for now. Then underneath all of your income, you will put everything that you need to do with your money. So per month, I have £400 of rent. Electricity is £40 a month. The reason I haven't included that in direct debits is because I pay using one of those top-up fob things, so I have to buy the electricity before I spend it, which I actually kind of like because you know how much you're spending. Direct debits underneath that is £287 a month. The way I've calculated that is by listing out all of my direct debits here. So water, gas, council tax, phone, internet, life insurance, Netflix. That gives me a total of 287, which auto-populates to here. So that's everything I have to pay out each month in order to live where I live and do what I do. That's not including food or transport, that's just for the housing and any direct debits that I have coming out. Underneath that then is my savings section. So I've got £75 a week or £300 a month going into my Lloyds emergency fund. Once I have fully funded that emergency fund to 6 months worth of outgoings, I can stop funding that then. I'll have £75 a week to do something else with. Underneath that then is my more long-term savings accounts. So my Moneybox Lifetime ISA, which I'm currently putting nothing into until I get that emergency fund built. My Moneybox 95-day notice account, which I'm currently not putting anything into until I get that emergency fund built. My money box stocks and shares ISA, which I'm only putting £5 a week into at the moment. The only reason is I like to put something in there so that I can just watch the stock market go up or down and do what it's doing. It's interesting to me. £5 a week isn't that much money to play with, but if I'm consistent with it, eventually I'll have a decent amount in that account. And then underneath that is shorter term savings, so things like holidays, Christmas. Here I've got a budget line for buffer money, so I put more money into my household bills account than is necessary, just so that I never hit zero. Underneath that is holiday savings, so not much, but £10 a week, so that I've got some money, so that when it comes to me and Sean booking in our next holiday, I've got something to play with. Christmas, £5 a week, again not much, but at the end of the year I'll have £250 to put towards next Christmas, so that I'm not going to be like blindsided by something that happens on a regular date every year. In other words, it's important to save now for some short-term goals, so that you've got some money to use when those goals come at you. Underneath that is charitable giving. As I've said previously, I do like to put some money away each week, just to give away to things or people that I consider worthwhile causes. It's not necessarily a big charity thing. Sometimes it could just be tipping somebody if they've done excellent service. If we're a restaurant or something, giving them a bigger tip than normal, it makes them happy. It only costs me £5 a week at the moment. You know, it's stuff like that that I think makes people smile. And then underneath that is weekly living and petrol. These are my weekly outgoings for things like food, entertainment and transport, and that's everything at the moment that I currently spend out. So yeah, itemize everything, list it out, know where it's going, know how much it is, and at the end of that you should be left with very little. Again, remember, this is my YouTube budget sheet, so this isn't my whole financial picture, but at the end of that I'm left with £3.25 each week, or £13 a month, and then I can start again the next month. It's good. This is a basic sort of budget template that I follow every month and week. Obviously, if you're doing things like paying off debts, then I said I wouldn't get into that, but briefly, if you're paying off debts, your monthly budget will change, because as you pay off the smaller debts, they will then vanish from your sheet. So it's sort of a more changeable thing when you're doing stuff like debt payments. This is how I keep it. This is how I work my budget every month, and if I stick to it, then everything should go to plan, because this is my plan. You know, it is also a behavioral thing as well. Once you've got a budget, it gives you permission to spend what you want to spend, because you set your targets. So yeah, make one. If you stick to it, you know where you are. Down here at the bottom of my budget sheet then, I've got a weekly plan, which is, because I get paid weekly, everything I need to do each week in order to make my monthly budget work. Here I've got transfer to householding. That's the account that all of my bills and rent get paid out of. So each week I need to put £211.75 into that account to cover every direct debit that comes out. Again, holiday savings, put £10 away. Christmas, put £5 away. Emergency fund, put £75 away. Charitable giving, leaving me with £85 weekly living and petrol in order to spend each week and live and have petrol. It's pretty simple. This section then is my 1 month necessary expenses. So here I've listed out only the things that it takes to survive, so that if for some reason I lost my job or I was off sick for a prolonged period of time and I couldn't earn money, this is how much it costs me to survive each month. In that I've included rent, electricity, all of the necessary direct debits, which if you scroll up to here, click this, I've included only the things that I consider necessary. So Netflix isn't a necessity. If I lost my job, I would cancel my Netflix subscription and I would only need to fund these specific areas. Food, petrol, that's what it takes me to live each month. Times this amount by 3 is 3,174. Times this amount by 6 is £6,348. So essentially, once I've got £6,500 in my emergency fund, that is fully funded according to me and other people that I've listened to who provide financial guidance. Pretty simple, but if you don't think about it, I often find that people don't do it, and it was where I was, and I'm just glad I'm here now. That's the basics of the budget. If you just know that much, you can start your own. Like I said, download these forms from my website at the link in the description and have a little play around with it yourself if you want to. I do genuinely think it's a very useful tool for anybody who's thinking about finance. And you can be as in-depth or as basic as you like with it, as long as you get an outline. For example, I like to be a little more in-depth, and I like to know that for my monthly direct debits table, This is the date each month that these direct debits come out, so that if it's mid-month and I need to know how much money I should have left in the account to pay the remaining direct debits, I can come here and look at council tax comes out on the 27th, so I need to know that on the 27th I need £140 in that account. If I'm a little bit shy, I can then just top it up, but I shouldn't be shy because I've got my £25 buffer going in each week. I've also got on the right hand side here which account that the money comes out of. Everything comes out of my One NatWest household bills account, but you can obviously, if you've got multiple accounts you pay different things out of, you can change that there. Also here I've listed where the accounts that I'm paying are held. So my life insurance is held with Churchill, water is Welsh Water, phone, O2, gas, So Energy, etc, etc. The reason I've done that is because if anything ever happened to me, or if I was incapacitated for some reason, perhaps I just had a really really long lie-in for a couple of months, Sean could, or anyone else who is interested in my finances or needs to help me, could look at this and say, well, he obviously pays Welsh Water for his water, he pays O2 for his phone bill, and they would know where to go in order to manage these accounts. It's just good planning. It doesn't really take much, but it is helpful if anything goes wrong, and there will be rainy days. So yeah, that's basic budgeting. I hope you found that useful in some way. Apologise if it was a bit long-winded, but please feel free to like this video if you did like it, subscribe if you get something from these videos, share them with anyone you think might benefit from this information as well. The channel is growing. I'm currently at 568 subscribers. I'm really looking forward to getting to that 1,000 mark. So if you do already subscribe, thank you very much, I appreciate it. And that's it, it's Saturday morning. I'm going to finish my coffee, go and do some work, and then enjoy the rest of the weekend. Have a great weekend, we'll speak soon. Take care of yourselves and each other. The wise words of Jerry Springer.